Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jackie Ina. Jagga. So Too Faced just came out with a Born This Way 24-hour undetectable super long wear foundation matte edition. Born This Way, the original formula, used to be one of my favorite. Actually, it still probably is within the top 5, one of my favorite foundations of all time. Now they have a matte version. Personally, for me, I'm a very if it ain't broke, why fix it type of gal. I already feel like I'm probably gonna continue really liking and preferring the original formula because I personally can't imagine fixing anything about this at all. I'm just gonna treat this as if it's a completely different formula. And today we're gonna be trying it and testing it out for the very first time. This video is also gonna be done in partnership with VESCA. I'm gonna be featuring some of their bronzers later on in the tutorial, but the main focus today is Born This Way Matte, which by the way, all of the Born This Way line of products is Too Faced holy grail. I'm also a really huge fan of their hangover line, so I do have high hopes for this foundation. Why don't we just go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so a little bit of background about me, my skin type. I have oily combination skin. As you can see, I'm quite shiny. Yes, my forehead does have headlights. That's because I have oily skin, but we don't fight the oil over here, honey. All right? Okay? Because wrinkles cancel. No, I'm kidding, they're not. I prefer foundations that are a bit more skin-like. I don't mind a little bit of dew. I tend to shy away from overly matte foundations, but I'm not against them either. So the claims on this foundation are it's oil-free, oil controlling, it's waterproof, great, and transfer resistant. You know what though? Honestly, this is gonna come right on time for some of these mask wearers. Well, I say some of them because a lot of y'all are not cooperating when you absolutely should be. Did Too Faced know that we was gonna need this or not? I'm just very curious. For skin prep, I'm gonna take the Hangover RX primer. I just prefer a more skin-like primer with the Born This Way line as opposed to like a super mattifying. I feel like if you use a super matte primer, put on a super matte foundation, and then put matte powder on top of it, you just end up looking really expired in a way, really wrinkly, like it highlights texture in the skin. So the Born This Way matte retails for 40 Zolas. It also comes in 35 shades, which includes the shades that I created in the original Born This Way shade extension, which is really awesome. Like, I love to see the fact that they're keeping the same energy consistently. I really do. They have like really good reviews on their own website. I don't know if this is available on Sephora yet, but I do see 40 Zolas, 1 fluid ounce, so you get the same amount of product. I like how they made the foundation bottles different so that you can clearly see these are 2 different customers here. And they sent me the shade Chai. I do wish they kind of sent me a couple other colors, even though I know without a doubt this will probably be a match for me. I mean, Spice Rum is my summer shade, but then again, I ain't going nowhere, so I don't know what difference is gonna make anyway. I'm gonna contour using the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Sable. Let me just chisel away all that birthday cake I've been eating. Thank you guys for wishing me a happy birthday, by the way. I had the best, considering the circumstances, the best birthday ever. I mean, it's kind of hard to top getting engaged in Greece a year ago. So I was a little worried, but a lot of people really came through for me. I mean, they always do. They really do, but couldn't ask for a better birthday. I really couldn't. I mean, I wish there wasn't a global pandemic, but aside from that, splendid. Sis finna chow woo on cap. I'm about to, that's what some of y'all sound like on Twitter. Stop using African-American vernacular English, Ebonics, otherwise known as. Thank you. Leave it to Black people. Hang it up, flat screen. Okay, so I'm gonna now use the shade Butterscotch to highlight under my eye. Like I said, I work backwards, so we're gonna get in the foundation one sec, but you need to see the process, okay? I'm tired of people telling me, get to the point of the review. The point of the review is also like skin prep and all of the steps I do leading up to the product I'm reviewing. So these things are important because you wanna know what to do, what not to do. And just in case anything goes awry, I gotta be able to like, all right, here's what we use. Let's backtrack. My actual highlight color is chestnut, so that's the final concealer I'm gonna use on cap for fleeks. Yeah. Don't y'all get tired cosplaying as Black people behind these anonymous stan accounts online? I'm just curious. Does it ever occur to you? No? All right, got it. All right, so I've highlighted and contoured. I'm ready to get right in. I just hope this color will work out because girl, she was a little red, a little orange. I see it. It's not the same chai. I see the difference. Okay, I think this dries down kind of fast. Let me shut up and blend. So this is blending out. This is actually blending out to be a pretty decent match. So I'm not mad at the color match just yet. This is why you gotta be really careful with shade matches transferring over. Like I even feel like Shy in the concealer, I feel like there's slight differences there as well. And that's just like the nature of formulating products. This is a matte formula, so I can imagine there's just different drying times, a lot of things. This definitely does dry down. It's not transfer proof because I do see product on my finger, but then again, that could be from like all the other stuff being mixed in there. The coverage is definitely on medium to full because just from that little squirt, most of what's been going on with my face has been happening on this right side of my chin for some reason. And all of the scars that were on this side covered up really quickly with that little bit of product. Now I'm gonna start working towards the middle of my face and working my way upwards. It doesn't have a strange smell because I kind of feel like the original Born This Way. Let me just remind myself. Okay, yeah, that's weird. It doesn't smell like that when you put it on, but I almost kind of feel like it has like a skincare smell, the original. This one kind of has a slight painty smell, but it's, in my opinion, not strong or off-putting, but I do smell it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, the finish is really pretty. It's not as matte as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely not giving me the same consistency, texture, finish as like the Pure 6-in-1 foundation. NARS also has the Natural Longwear Radiant. That's a pretty matte foundation. This to me is almost kind of like a demi matte. At least that's the vibe I'm getting so far. I use just about a full pump for my face. I'm trying to now spread it thin because I really don't want to add more product, but so far see the match is, oh, that's not bad at all. Like it ended up blending out. See, when you work backwards, if you don't have the most perfect match, sometimes it's kind of easier to work around. Whereas when you just start with the foundation already on your face, yeah, you're gonna have some challenges. You're gonna have some challenges for sure. All right, y'all, well, the verdict is in. I won't really be able to know how transfer proof this is until like I finish the whole face and start wearing my mask and being out and about. I'm not gonna wear the usual setting spray that I use to keep my foundation stay in place because I wanna test the claims of this foundation. There really are such thing as truly transfer proof foundations. The only one that I really know of is probably Estee Lauder Double Wear. All of the other ones, like they do have some slight transfer. I'm gonna hold it to that same standard and to that same comparison. But then again, that's hard because I'm gonna put product on top of this too, like translucent powder. Let me just do a quick cheek test. Well, there's a little bit of transfer, but it's definitely a lot less than what it would be if it was any other foundation, especially if it was the original Born This Way. OG Born This Way definitely has a lot more moisture. This one is drying down. Like I feel it drying down into my skin. Once again, oddly, it's not overly matte. Like it actually feels really nice. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel super drying. Like I feel like my skin looks and feels pretty healthy and I get the benefits of a foundation that dries down and stays put, but I don't feel like I'm wearing a foundation that dried down and stay put. Does that make sense? You feel me? Okay, thank you. I usually like to set everything with powder and then go into bronzer. It's summer, I like warmth. Instead of going in with bronzer, I'm gonna use a contour. So I'm gonna be using the VESCA Beauty Soft Matte Bronzing Powder. The color that I used is Kissed by Cabo. This is a little bit on the red side and that's okay. It's just a different flow, a different glow. You know, I love a bronzer, especially because I can't go nowhere. Like it's actually really kind of sad. I know that things are getting a little bit more normal here in LA, but they're not really normal at all. Today, I'm actually going to be doing some drop-off runs for my brand. So I want to look like I just came back from Fiji, even though I know full well the borders are closed. These bronzers come in 7 shades. They smell really, really good. Like I like how the scent just kind of lingers on the brush as I'm blending out. They do ship to USA and Canada. They are $30. You may not be able to go to Canada, but you can get a bronzer in Canada. Good for you. Oh my God, on cap, finna fleek, sis. So my favorite way to apply is I take a dense brush that's kind of teardrop shape. I just kind of pat in instead of, actually I'm lying. I do a combination of both. I kind of swipe as like a final step. It was all a lie. One thing that I'm noticing is patting this in on top of the foundation. I'm seeing if the foundation moves, stays put. It doesn't do anything. Sometimes if a foundation is too hydrating or if a bronzer is just not very pigmented, you have to keep putting it on, putting it on, putting it on. I don't have to worry about that with this bronzer and the foundation is not budging at all. This bronzer comes in 7 shades. This is, I think, like the third to last bronzer, so there's like 2 others after this one. Oh, I lied, there's 3. Okay, so Kissed by Bali. I'm actually gonna throw on a little bit of Bali just to add a teensy bit more depth, just a little bit. There's also Kissed by Tahiti. Weren't we just talking about the Pacific Islands? Look at God, just teasing me. Kissed by Tahiti is beautifully rich. I also have Kissed by Maldives. So I'm gonna just dip into Kissed by Bali literally like once, and I'm gonna blot off the excess because these bronzers are really, really good color and pigment payoff. Layering your bronzers is also another one of my favorite ways to really add depth to the skin. Sometimes I'll go in with the darker one first, and then I'll take the slightly warmer one, Kissed by Cabo, like right beneath it, just so that the bronzer looks like a gradient. As always, you already know what time it is. I'm gonna link everything I used in today's video down below, including the VESCA bronzers. I'm gonna take a little bit of that bronzer, and I always do this before I do brows, just so that I don't have to worry about them coming off or being in the way or being wiped off. But I take a little bit of that bronzer right at my nose bridge area. This is kind of like how I cheat a nose contour. I'm gonna apply that right where my eyebrows start. Maybe you want a little ham on that brow pencil. Girl, that's fine. Just take a little bit of bronzer, a dense brush, and just brush it right out. I'm also gonna show you guys what I wanna do with the eyes because Artist Couture, a couple months ago, recently launched their Supreme Nudes collection. I actually never got a chance to feature this on my channel, even though I really, really wanted to. I was inspired by Beyonce's BET Awards look.
I'm gagging.
When I saw that look, I was offended that I didn't look like that. Like I was just like, wow, that's really pretty. It's not difficult to achieve in dark skin. It's just not something that you always see. And I feel like whenever it comes to dark skin, and I'm wiping off the makeup off my brows. One of the biggest reasons why I got started in makeup is I got tired of looking like editorial whenever someone would do my makeup, like years and years ago before I actually got into it. Like stop making me look like an art piece. Like I want the makeup to be wearable and I want the makeup to look pretty. So that look, when I saw that, it just reminded me like why I fell in love with makeup in the first place. It was very wearable, it was very pretty, and you don't often see those kinds of looks and vibes on people who look like me. So I kind of want to do something similar, not the exact same, but I am going to do something similar. I heard they used the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes palette. I'm not sure if they did. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so for Miss B's eye look from the BET Awards, I'm going to once again use the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. What I like about this look is it's soft glam. It doesn't look too cool. It doesn't look too warm. It's somewhere right in the middle. So the first color that I'm going to take and start sweeping into my lid is Transcend, which is this color right here. I would describe that as like a mid-tone camel shade. I don't know why I gyrated my neck when I said that. Let me get this out your way, sir, madam. So Transcend, I'm just sweeping into my lid. I did prep my eyes, by the way, with the Born This Way concealer, which is what I always do. And I'm just gonna start sweeping that into my crease as a starter buffer shade. And I already feel like I see what may be missing. What happens if I put Eccentric on top of that? Ooh, those two are really pretty together. Okay, so Eccentric is kind of like a mustardy brown shade. This one here, I'm mixing those two. I almost always mix my crease colors. I don't know why. Do y'all do that too? I almost always do that. Please let me know in the comments if you do that as well. Taking a dark brown liner, this is Black Coffee from Pat McGrath. I'm going to start sweeping a pretty thin line, not winged, just a pretty thin line along my top lash line, stopping right at the center of my lid because the eye shape in this look is kind of snatched, kind of cat eye. Don't draw the liner all the way across, just stop about halfway, gradually getting thicker towards the end without winging it. I'm gonna take this dark brown shade from the palette. This is Mink, really, really pretty, cool toned, deep brown. I'm gonna start tracing that brown liner, sweeping this right on top, not sweeping, sorry, stamping. I'm going right on top just to smudge out that liner. This look is so effortless and I love how simple and timeless this was. I mean, this is gonna look good on every complexion. We also wanna trace a little bit of that Mink along our bottom lash line, but only on the outer corners. It should just be like a really, really light dust, because as you can see, when you look at Beyonce's bottom lash line, you can see that it kind of gradually gets a little darker on the outer thirds. Now, on top of that, I want a slightly softer brown, but still a dark brown, So I'm gonna take Aesthetic. Ooh, I like that color, Aesthetic. This one is really warm. We are creating a gradient. So Aesthetic is going right over Mink to make it look like it gradually went from that warm brown to darker brown. I'm just stamping it in right above, flicking it upwards, softening that color out. Like, I don't know if you can see the difference, but do you see how this one looks a little bit more softer and it looks more like a gradient? This side is like straight up liner. All you have to do is take that slightly lighter color right above and start blending and buffing that out with the slightly lighter brown. This is actually one of my favorite looks when I want kind of a demure look. I don't feel like doing a full on smoke. Like, that's a lot to commit to. This smoky liner effect look definitely got to be top tier going out look for me. I love the way that it looks and it's super easy to achieve too. I'm gonna take a dense brush, a like ball shaped denser brush. I'm going back to Mink, the dark brown, and I'm gonna start sweeping that shadow really, really close to my lash line. This is a process of just blending these two colors together, applying them and blending, applying them and blending. I am going to take a blending brush and then I'm gonna go back to Aesthetic again, the darker reddish brown here, and start blending that upwards into my crease area. Ooh, really love that this is all matte too, except for the inner corner, because it's definitely an inner corner highlight. On cap, this is so pretty so far. I really like this palette. I'm so glad that he went nude, but he included actual brown shades. Like, you know how sick and tired I am of seeing pink. Thank you, Angel. Thank you for thinking about brown people, because apparently people don't know there's variations in nudes, and we often get neglected. Now for the lid color, I'm getting taupey vibes, so I feel like Silhouette might be the one. Yeah, I feel like Silhouette definitely might be the one. She's a mid-range, really cool tone taupe. I'm just going to sweep that on my lid with a dense blending brush instead of packing it on, just because I want like a slightly softer look. That is really pretty. This look didn't even really need a lid color, because just from the residual shadow, it already looked like I had like a nude lid color already, but this is pretty too. This I can rock with too. Now that I've applied my lid color, I'm just gonna go back in with Aesthetic, the warm reddish brown shade, and just kind of graze over the middle parts of my lid again, soften everything out. This look is definitely not going to be bells and whistles, girl. She's giving you soft glam, and some soft glam is not always cut crease, all right? It's not always backflips and acrobatics. It's not always fashion week. I feel like I need to just dust and sweep this out a little bit more. Because I do want a little bit of warmth right in this area, I'm gonna go back to my VESCA bronzer. I'm gonna go back to a little bit of Kiss by Cabo and just blend her right in that middle area. I'm getting a little bit of warmth in her crease, so I just want to spice things up and add that there. Oh, I forgot about the bottom. I gotta sweep out a little bit of the bottom with some Aesthetic just to make sure this looks nice and buffed. She's definitely got on some waterline liner, so I'm gonna take my off-white liner. This is in the shade Infinite Sand from Makeup Forever, and this is just literally like one of my favorite ways to finish an eye look with these color tones and shades. Please do not use white. Make sure you use beige. Once you use white, it just becomes a completely different look. I'm just saying. I like Infinite Sand because it's beige, so it doesn't look as stark on my complexion. I'm gonna go back to Black Coffee and just hit the top lash line of my waterline, tie line basically. You know what time it is. Just so that our lashes look nice and thick and full. For lashes, I feel like Beyonce's either wearing individuals or a half lash, so I'm gonna take my whiplashed in the style Fluff, and I'm not gonna wear the full strip. I'm gonna have to cut it in half, which does really hurt because this is my favorite pair. We're just gonna muster up the courage and go through this together. Please pray for me. This is the one I want on my right eye. So this is actually what I used to do back in the day when I wasn't comfortable with full strip lashes, because they looked absolutely crazy on me back when they weren't made as thick and luxurious as they are now. Oh, and in case you're curious, this is what the lash originally looked like before I cut it. This is, excuse me. Hi, girl, why are you cutting up? Why are you cutting up? There we go. Okay, this is what she looked like. It's actually one of my favorite lashes, and it's a Nigerian owned brand, so check them out. While the glue in them dries down, I'm gonna take the Morena Beauté blush palette, and I'm gonna take this shade, which is Sweet Brown. You're gonna need something that is coral or orange, no shimmer, preferably matte. I don't make the rules. I just show you how to recreate them. And I'm gonna start applying Sweet Brown right at the balls of my cheeks for a beautiful flushed coral glow. These are super, super pigmented. So if you have these blushes, whew, all you need is but one dip and you good. Now I'm also gonna take that blush and incorporate it into my bronzer. I put on my lashes and I only applied mascara on my outer bottom lash line. And you can just see the effect of the half lash immediately. Like, it just pulls the eye look together and it just really adds this really sultry touch. Now for my inner corner, I'm gonna take a little bit of Lavish, which is this yellow gold gold color here and just slowly build that up because it's not a really strong pop of highlight, but it's there. We see you, we see each other. Okay, now for the lips. This is Saucy Gal lipstick, also from the Supreme Nudes color. Oh, these smell so freaking good. That's pretty. I'm gonna take the I'm gonna take the Uncensored 2.0 gloss, also from Artist Couture. And ooh, oh, that's the perfect color on top of this nude. Wow, that's bomb. Now, the last thing that I noticed in this look is there's kind of this yellow golden glowy veil on Beyonce, like right in the center forehead and around the center of the face. You know that translucent loose powder glow that Laura Mercier came out with that no one really cared about? I actually like it. I don't really post about it a lot, but it's a pretty nice, it's not a translucent powder. I don't know why they call it that, but I'm gonna use the medium deep color. Also, gonna tread lightly with a little bit of Fenty Trophy Wife. This is really yellow, and that's kind of what I need to bring this look to life. I'm gonna mix the two of them together, but first I'm gonna try to take a bit of the translucent right in the center of my face. Oh my God, that's perfect. That's perfect. I thought this wasn't gonna be yellow enough, but it's perfect, and it's definitely glowy. Oh, anymore, it's overkill. I'm not even gonna take any chances with Trophy Wife. That might be overkill. Like, I already feel like that's a little overkill, but it's fine. I'm also going to sparingly put that right at the peak points of my cheekbones. So I grabbed Trophy Wife thinking this wasn't gonna be yellow enough, and baby, this is it. This is the perfect color. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that powder. Right down the bridge of my nose and then right on the tip, and that's it. Here's a close-up shot of the new foundation in case you need the real tea and you need to see my brain activity. I think it looks phenomenal on camera, like really, really good. Everything looks smooth. There's no texture on my skin. Now, granted, I never had texture to begin with, but this definitely, like, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely looks good. And so far, nothing's settled into my smile line, so that's also a plus. All right, y'all, that's today's look. As you guys know with reviews, it is a full day commitment, so I'm not just throwing on the product and telling you a few fun facts and stats. I'm gonna actually try to commit to wearing it for the full day. I try to give myself at least 6 to 8 hours, which means I'm probably gonna be up pretty late. It's now 4:15 here in LA, just so you can see. Oh, not even 4:15. Oh my God, it's 6:15. But I have been wearing this makeup for a couple hours. I take about 2 hours to film. I put this on a little bit closer to like 2, so that is already the first 2 hours. First initial thoughts, coverage, phenomenal. I think it's covering really well. I do feel like there is smoothness. Like, wow. All right, this is a different lens than the close-up that I just showed you, but my skin looks like really smooth. I mean, I do know a little thing or two about like blending and application and stuff like that. So I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I will definitely say my skin, I think, looks really, really good on camera. I'm hoping that this holds up to its transfer-free claims, because you can't just put transfer-free on a bottle, baby, and then not actually follow through. That's my expectation. If it isn't transfer-proof, all right, really inconvenient and annoying, but I'm not gonna outright cancel the product. Do I prefer it to Born This Way? I don't know yet. I mean, I definitely have to wear it throughout the day. However, I'm also not really a stranger to mixing some of my favorite dewier, more hydrating foundations with my favorite mattes and bringing them together to bring the perfect force field of nature to get the benefits of both. So I don't know. I think at best I would just expect that this will be long wearing. And if it's also transfer proof, that's going to be a definite plus. I got some candles to deliver, so I'll check back in. I'll check back in with you guys in a few hours. I don't know if I'll do a midday check-in. I'll just see how I'm feeling. But yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. All right, guys, I'm back. As promised, I was gonna give you an end of the night check-in. It's almost 2 a.m. I really committed today. First initial thoughts, I have not blotted. Well, I'm lying. I did blot like 2 hours ago. About an hour ago.
Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
I did blot off the extra shine around my face. Now, most of that shine probably will have come from the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. It's a glow powder, so obviously the places where I get oily are probably gonna actually glow from within. Other than that, I do like the foundation. I really do, but a part of me kind of wants to give this another try. Tomorrow's the second day of my PR run for my candles, so I'm actually just gonna do the same exact face routine again, try the foundation routine again. Sometimes I feel like if I spend too much time indoors, I don't really get a true feel. Also, video, I was pretty much in the car. Like I wasn't like drinking, eating, or anything like that. I wasn't doing anything spectacular. What I think I want to do is tomorrow, I'm going to try it again. Similar environment, similar day conditions, and just see if I like it. See if there's any difference. I normally don't do like a 2-day in a row back to back, but I'm still kind of like, is there anything else I need to know about this foundation? I feel like everything there is to know about this foundation, I would have already known about it now. So far, it's long wearing. It's definitely not transfer proof. It's just, I mean, transfer resistant. Maybe that means something different. Maybe it's like, I mean, it'll resist the transfer, but it's not gonna proof it. You feel me? Do you get what I'm saying? But other than that, I do think it was long wearing and I do like the finish. I don't think I'm 100% there with the color because Chai was just one of my best color matches. Of course, I literally matched it myself. I would have loved to have seen the shade transfers like directly reflect that. It sounds like so far they don't. I wouldn't know. I only have Chai to compare to. So the other ones, I didn't receive them. So there's no way that I can know that until like I actually see them like in store. I'm gonna check back in tomorrow, give you guys another quick mini review. So I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Hey girl, I'm back. I did not get to wear test this foundation a second time like I thought I would. And the only reason why I'm closing the video out now is because if I were to do another wear test on another day, I'm gonna have to wait a whole nother day to approve and edit this video, and I'm tired of getting harassed about not uploading in a timely fashion. So I still stand by what I said about the foundation yesterday. For the most part, my only probably real issues are that the shades that I created with the original Born This Way formula don't actually transfer over into the same shade as this one. Proceed with caution, especially right now. A lot of us cannot get in store and touch and feel and swatch things the way that we used to, so you might have to work around that. Other than that, I really like the formula. Like, it's long wearing. It is definitely like, I honestly feel like I have a smoothing filter on my skin. I think it definitely blurs the skin really nicely, the way that a matte foundation usually would. That's why we love matte foundations. I would be interested to see how this would mix with Born This Way, the original, Born This Way OG. But other than that, I like it. I don't know if I love it. I feel like I say that every review. When I love a product, I love a product. I didn't love Born This Way the first time I tried it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Now, the OG Born This Way, I love. And maybe there just might have to be a little bit of a learning curve with this one. I don't know yet. You know, that's why it's a first impressions. This is just first and initial, and that can change, and that's okay. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me on this video and watching. Again, everything is going to be linked down below that was featured in today's tutorial. I know I look a bit more eccentric than normal. It's a later video. It'll all make sense in a couple weeks. Just don't mind today's beat. But thank you again for watching. And if you want to watch another video, you can just click right here and also check out my side profile. And the fact that my eyeshadow was not blended all the way into my hairline. Oops. Missed that. But hey, don't miss a video. I'm not playing with you. What the hell you waiting for? Click another video.